Okay, I'm gonna make a quick video. It's just easier to describe this with a video than it is with a paragraph. This is about taking more than one map item and putting it onto a print layout. A few tips and tricks on how to do that. So here is the project where we created the mask mosaic for the clouds from the 2015 scene. And I haven't even started my print layout, so I'm going to start by going to print layout. And okay. And what I'm going to do is this is fine. I'm going to put 4 map items on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a good orientation for that. I am going to drag in one. It's going to be about 1/4 of the page. I don't want to adjust it later, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste 4 of these, so the same scale and scene extent is the same for all 4. So there's not a lot of manual adjustment I want to do after it's done. Okay, I'm going to change the scale because I want to zoom in on this a little bit, maybe a little bit more. So I make that number smaller. I'm going to zoom in on an area in here and show the same area for all 4 scenes. This is kind of the cloudiest part, so I'm going to show this small area. Okay, so now that I have my area set, I'm going to copy and paste 4 of these on here and arrange them. Once I've moved them, I don't want to resize any of them because that rescales it, and then they're not the same extent and the same scale. Okay, so I have my 4 on there. This is my original 2015. I'm going to lock it. So over here, lock layers. When this map item is active, the main property is open, the main property window, and I can go down under main properties where I set the scale. Under layers, I click on lock layer. Okay, so that's how I lock this, so it will not update when I go back into my project view and change the project map. Okay, I know this is 2015. If I couldn't remember, I could come in here and, you know, I could put in Santarem 2015. Okay, if you're working with other scenes, sometimes you don't remember what you're doing, so I'm putting it right there. So let me check this one more time. It's locked. I'm going to go back into my project. And the next one I want to show is my cloud raster. So I go to my cloud raster, and that's now on top. I go back to my print layout. I go to the second, and I'm going to click refresh. And it updates with that same extent and the same scale. Now I'll lock it. And you could type in cloud classification. Okay, and that's locked. Now I'm going to go to the third one, back to my project, and I wanted that to be 2016, which is, oof, let's turn off that one right there, that right there. My band set doesn't look quite right, so I'm going to redo it. Oh. So I'm sure some of you have experienced this takes a while to go back and forth. Okay, so it is going to be 3, 2, 1. Sometimes by toggling back and forth, you can get what you want to show up. That is my 2015 image and not my 2000. Okay, let me go back into here. Show you guys another trick. I need to make sure if I'm creating a virtual that I'm on the correct band set. So this is my 2016 band set is band set 2. That's what I'm on. So let me go back into here. and redo that. Okay. And anyway, it's not updating, so sometimes if you zoom and then change, there we go. Oh, that's not the one I want. Let's see if I have something clicked on up here. I do. There we go. Okay, so this is the one I want. Make sure you have the right image. This is my 2015 image. That's how I know it's not the right one, because the clouds aren't in the right place. This is the one I want. Okay, so and I don't know why the red X is on there. I've had students ask me about that. It's just a bug in there. Don't worry too much about it. That's the bands that I want. So I'm going to go back to my print layout, click on here. I click the refresh button. Now I have my 2016 image. That same extent that I used to mask the values in here. And then I'm going to lock this and come in here, give it a title of and then go to here. I always check if it's locked. I get paranoid. And I'm going to go back to here, and I have the final image, which is my masked image, which is at the top, so it's pretty easy. I just click that on, and there's my masked image. No one laugh. I come in here, I refresh, and I get that masked image. It's hard to tell if it's masked because it still has some weird clouds and some ghost image, what I would call ghost images on there, ghost pixels on there. Not the greatest cloud masking I've ever seen, but the best that I could do with this particular SCP plugin. There are private companies that use higher technology to remove clouds such as these. These are pretty thick clouds, even though they're spread out. They are pretty thick. They're harder to remove than these kind of cirrus clouds. Anyway, that's how you create multiple map items, and using that copy and paste after you've scaled it, so you don't have to try to set the extent manually for your print layout. One more thing, give it a, this is okay. All right. Hope that helps.